So I wake up this morning, I go to Twitter, and I see that Among Us has officially collaborated with Fortnite now, and there are a ton of cosmetics that you can get now, or you can get later in the item shop. Don't call me a prophet, but I did tweet out about Among Us earlier, literally like 30 minutes before this announcement, so that was pretty cool. Today I want to talk to you guys even more about the reality tree and what's going on behind the scenes, and more importantly, try to dive into the identity of this character who we have called the Bloom Watcher. I've seen this go around Twitter a lot today, and it goes like this. Back in the Chapter 2 finale event, the Foundation at one point says, "Why does she make me keep saving you?" in reference to Jones. A lot of people have thought this is Sloane, this is one of the sisters. Is it possible that it could be the Bloom Watcher as a brand new character? Probably not in my opinion, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the possibilities of this because I've seen a lot of people talking about it. Some really cool lore from the comics, of course. Bear in mind that the lore from the comics and the game doesn't necessarily always coincide, but you can see in the comics, I believe this is the origin, saying it crash landed on the moon, orbiting the island. Presumably the Paradigm was seeking other creatures, considering the icy stretch of land the monster came from was actually a fragment that broke off the moon long ago. Insane. So the original Caddis from Chapter 1 Season 9 was originally on the moon that broke off. It was a piece of ice that I guess landed very far off in the water and became an iceberg that floated towards the island. What I find really interesting though is this creature was on the moon that had the base of the 7 on it as well. So was this creature like native to the moon, or did they have it captive and basically in prison, but having it break off the moon basically released it from its cell? Thus the 7 needed to create the mech to come and defeat this thing that they might have been trying to keep away from everybody for everyone's safety. Also, I'm assuming they're talking about the mech, crash landed onto the moon orbiting the island. Presumably the Paradigm was seeking other creatures. Again, I don't know how relevant this all is to the game storyline, but it's really cool to see. And honestly, if that were true, helps fill in a ton of the gaps that we have and makes the events of Chapter 1 Season 9 make much more sense. Next up, we have Tinky on Reddit who says, I mean, it's kind of obvious that the tree is setting up the new villainess. Appearing out of nowhere, taking out an entire town, and not a single person questions it because loopers are idiots apparently, or we're subtly being influenced by spores. I mean, if you're going to invade an area crawling with half-crazed gun-toting lunatics, making yourself seem like a friend via mind control is a really great way to do it. We've talked a little bit about things like this earlier in videos so far this season, but I'm sold on the possibility of the tree being something that is lulling us into a sense of calm. And then once everybody has been calmed down to a certain extent and everybody is not expecting anything, something major is gonna happen. I can just feel it. I mean, think about a cow, right? Sorry for all the vegans out there, but you don't want the skinny cow for the burgers. You want to get the fat cow. You want to get the big cow that's lived and eaten and had a good life. You want that cow for your burgers, and I think the same sort of situation applies here to the game. You want to make sure these people are in the most possible relaxed state before you attack them, considering they've been on guard for so long. This theory mentions the spores and possibly us being influenced by spores. Well, did you know that long-term exposure to mushroom spores can lead to lung inflammation and acute lung disease? Irrelevant to Fortnite, but the main message is spores, bad. We get mushroom spores everywhere. That might be another way that the Bloom Watcher and the reality tree are going to be keeping us in check. The thing about mushroom spores is they multiply, and once there's enough of them, it just kind of overtakes you. Again, that's in real life, but we're talking about Fortnite in the same sort of way. I'm gonna be really interested to see how the area near the reality tree continues progressing throughout the season. We know it's gonna change things, but I'm also gonna be looking at those mushrooms. Will the mushrooms actually start spreading around the map? And if they do, I'd say this spore thing becomes a bunch more likely. Miserable Pen says, maybe it's making us plant these saplings and having us take care of them so they can multiply. We just wanted mythic loot. Our greed will be our undoing. Yeah, the new sapling featured this season is really cool, really fun for trolling as well. And that's another example of the Bloom Watcher and the reality tree rewarding us, the player, for helping to spread the seed and plant the sapling. Just something to think about. Next up, we have Fegan Floop, who we're gonna skip right to the end, where they say, my theory is that the reality tree is slowly zapping the 0 points power, hence the light stream leading to the 0 point from the tree. Okay, I honestly didn't even know this, and that's kind of shocking, but as you can see, there are several different energy beams leading from the reality tree to the 0 point underwater, so they're connected in some way. Is the tree, like anything else, sucking up the nutrients of whatever it's attached to? I mean, think about it, a tree in real life is going to suck water out of the ground, and in this case, it's actually, wow, maybe the water is some sort of symbolic figure here. Maybe the water represents the dirt, and the 0 point represents the nutrients in the water, and then the energy beam, the root. Who knows what the actual connection is between the 0 point and the reality tree, but something is for sure up, and we're, I'm sure, gonna figure out more and more as we continue to move forward. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to leave your thoughts and theories down below in the comment section. Make sure to like this video and subscribe as well if you're new. We'd love to have you join the team. Click on to the next video, watch another one, and we'll see you next time.